6 different types of lip makeup. We've got our Wet and Wild, which is in a shade of brown. As you can see there, kind of like a milk chocolatey brown. We've also got our Black Radiance, which was our guest of honor in our last video within the Makeup Math series. As a reminder, this is what it looks like right here. It's meant to say Black Radiance, but it looks more like a dark brown or a plum purple when I apply it to my lips. So there's that one there. Our third contestant, and actually this one's our guest of honor for tonight, is called Queen, and this is a sparkly black color. So to give a closer look, let me open the wand for you, and it's got this beautiful sparkly tone to it that has a little bit of a silver-like undertone. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing so much silver today, that's kind of giving a hint to the Queen herself. So that's going to be our guest of honor for this video, and I'm very excited to see her magic and how she applies herself to the rest of the gang. Of course, we've got to introduce the others, so we've also got our nostalgic baby lips, which is a bit more of a magenta and sparkly tone right there. It's very fun. It screams out Barbie to me, at least. We've also got our Revlon gloss, and this is one of the things I may wear every day in the winter time in case I need that extra layer of moisture sealed up. And the other thing I like about these is that the sounds they make are super relaxing when there's enough in the tube. That is, this one's starting to run a little low, but that's okay. It's all for the love of it, and I wear it on a daily basis. But now that it's starting to get warmer, I may just switch back to my regular chapstick. And then last and not least, we've got our Red Fenty Beauty, and this one is quite a stainer on her own, but it's a beautiful shade of red, and it comes in this lovely container. So by opening this, you can see how lustrous this red is. It's quite bright, but it can be nice and toned down when applied with the right shade. Alright, so those are our contestants, and this is our guest of honor. And just as we've done before, we've got our trusty little table, our trusty and marvelous little matrix. So we've got each of the shades applied here, and so far we have experimented with the brown on the bottom lip. We've experimented with the Black Radiance on the bottom lip. Now we're going to experiment with Queen on the bottom lip. So let me go ahead and show you what Queen looks like on the bottom lip, and then we'll go and get to applying. And as always, I have towelettes on the ready, some with the cleaning material and some with just water and some dry. So we've got a whole routine right here. Okay, now what's special about this one with the Queen is that if you apply just one little layer to it, it's more of like a silver sparkle type of tone, but if you apply extra layers and dab it on, then it turns more into a black. So I'll demonstrate here. So here it is with just one swipe, just like that. And after a couple of swipes, it kind of fades out a little bit, as you can see here. But you do have the sparkles that are always quite nice, and I always say this would be really fun to wear on a New Year's Eve party. So let me go ahead and apply it to the rest of my lip here. Turn over to get as much layering as possible. is the brown, otherwise known as the Wet n Wild brown. And I actually took a look at the closer label color, and I think it's called Cashmere, yeah. Number 533D Cashmere. So for anyone who's interested and curious, this is the Cashmere shade. So I'm going to go ahead, apply this to the top lip. Put this up here and just put it on top, just so. One slight, another slight. And what I love about the Cashmere on the top lip is that it's so close to my original natural tone that I think it's a nice way to emphasize the shading, and it has such a nice luster to it without it being too glossy, if that's what you're looking for. So this is kind of what it looks like here. You can see a tiny bit of my exposed bottom lip if I close it in a little. Quite intriguing. I almost kind of like it with a little bit of the free space in between. I think it adds some definition and a little bit of extra mystery to it, because I think if it's just the two on their own like this, then it looks a little underwhelming, at least to me. It's nice to have a little pop of a different color to keep things interesting and to keep the people guessing. But anyway, let me go ahead and bite my lips together and see what kind of shade we can create. It's kind of making my lips almost look like a deep metallic copper or a bronze. I could see that. I don't see as much sparkle now, but I know I did a little bit more swiping rather than dabbing on the lips, so that's probably why it has a little bit more of a sheen compared to a twinkle. But I do like it. I think it looks very nice when paired with the silver jewelry. I think if I look at my bracelets too, it could be paired with maybe bronze jewelry as well. It might be a little bit too much paired with these little disco earrings though. I could be wrong, but I feel like this would be nice with a more modest, toned down look. It's almost giving me Tim Burton vibes in a way. I don't know why, but it's quite interesting to say the least. So I'm going to say this is like a metallic bronze. Let me write that down. So here on the bottom lip we have Queen as we applied, and then with this box when we go up, we can see the brown for the Cashmere Wet n Wild. So here I'm just going to write down my impression of it and say it's like a shiny bronze. It almost reminds me of the brass instruments in band rehearsal when I was a little girl. A little bit like the inside of an old brass instrument. So I might add brass, shiny bronze, something like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and wipe that off, and then we can move on to our next one. Let me see how it is with just the water for a second. So swipe here and dry here, and form. Okay, one thing I really like about the two we just put on, they're very easy to come off. So we can move on to the next one. Here's what they look like on the napkin. Got that bronze look again. Alright, so next on the table, we're sticking with the Queen on the bottom lip, right? And the next one we have on the top lip. If we go from this box to this next box, still on Queen, we're going to go up. See that? And we see that this next one is Black Radiance for the top. So we're going to put the Black Radiance on the top lip, and we're going to stay with the Queen at the bottom lip. Let's see what it looks like. My prediction with this one, or hypothesis for that matter, is that it's going to be almost like evil queen greens, which is more like a plum color or a brown color, but I dabble. Let's see what it actually looks like. So again, we're going to start with the queen herself. I'm going to dab a little at the bottom lip, so one more layer here. It looks so different compared to my natural inner bottom lip. Like, it's giving me salmon and caviar vibes. That makes me hungry. Okay, now we've got the black gradients at the top. Again, this is what it looks like. It's got that dark plum color, but against certain backgrounds it looks like a dark chocolatey brown. So let me go ahead and open this for you here. We're going to open this and push out, and we'll apply it to the top lip, just as so. So in here, and in here. Just like that, more or less. Alright, so first impression, see them together. I do kind of like how, since the bottom inner lip is slightly exposed, it gives away the plum color of the top lip a little bit more. There's a lot of psychology that goes into different colors depending on how you pair them together. So I am quite curious how they're going to look together. Yeah. So let me go ahead and bite my lips together. Here's one. Oh wow. There's two. Okay, that was 15. And I'm trying to bite my lips together instead of pressing them together, if you know what I mean. So that way I can retain the sheen. But yes, this is definitely reminding me of like Snow White, Evil Queen vibes. It looks definitely darker. As a matter of fact, it almost reminds me of the evil character from Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent. It kind of reminds me of her a little bit for some reason. This could be really fun for a gothic party, I think. Though I think it could be more of a matte tone, but I think they would accept a sheen to it as well. So I'll probably say like gothic, evil queen vibes here. That's kind of what I'm getting. Or maybe even like Wednesday Addams, I don't know. I'll just say evil queen. But I do like the sheen of it. And let's see if I get a little closer. I'm trying to see if there are any sparkles. I can't really see any sparkles from here, but it definitely gives away the shine, and it doesn't look too bad with the shirt and the red ring combined either. Yeah, interesting. Alright, so I'm going to go back to this little box here, and I'm going to write down Evil Snow White Queen. Okay, so there we have it. So we're obviously going to skip out Queen and Queen, because that's just going to be the same thing with both lips when put together. So the next one we're going to do is that we have Queen at the bottom and just the Revlon gloss on top. It might look a little more faded, I think, but we can't be sure unless we try, right? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off here. I'm going to try this one this time. This has as you can see, the second palette is vastly different from the first one. Just want to make sure it's completely off. Keeping the skin nice and fresh. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Alright. So now we're going to start again with the queen at the bottom and just the regular Revlon gloss on top. My hypothesis with this one is that it'll still show the queen herself, but either with more of a 3D effect with the Revlon and glass gloss, or my second hypothesis is that because the Revlon glass gloss is clear, it might dilute the intensity of the queen's silvery black hue. So let's see if it's either one of those two outcomes, or maybe it might be even a bolder outcome. We shall see and find out. Let's get the queen herself again. Just as so. And just dab, 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 dab. Let's do one more layer. Just one more. Alright. A little bit of sparkle never hurt nobody. Alright. As a matter of fact, I'm going to apply a little bit more and cover this pink spot. It's starting to become a little distraction. Fascinating. Alright, I'll close that. And I'll go ahead and apply the Revlon on top. They've got that clear gloss. It's always a nice moisture sealer for me in the dullest of winters. I'll swipe here. One more swipe. It's not really a swipe, it's just a bunch of dabs. Alright, let's see what we have here. Now, it's probably giving away that I didn't completely take off the last hue from my upper lip, because it does look more purple than usual, and it's emphasizing my lack of makeup removal skills, but that is okay because it looks very shiny and quite pretty. It almost gives more of a springy blossom-like look, but with a Bradstone twist to it. And when paired with the black, it's quite unique. For those who are here for the first time, I tend to prefer a darker color on the top lip and a lighter one on the bottom because it matches the natural form I have with my mouth. So whenever it's flipped in the opposite and the darker one's at the bottom and the lighter one's at the top, I just have to do a double take and be like, huh, could we imagine a world where our bottom lip was darker in general compared to our top lip? These are just some of the most random things I think about from time to time when I've nothing else to do. Anyway, so going back to our chart, let's go ahead and bite these together. We can count how So that was about done there. It does look almost like a dusty pink with a hint of silver. So far, this combination has yielded the most sparkles. I'll definitely take note of that. And my second hypothesis, actually my first one, seems to be going to fruition. The intensity of the color of Queen is not as intense, and I think the Revlon has diluted that tone. And it almost seems to blend in a little too much with my tone, my skin tone. So if I had some kind of lip pencil that formed a border and gave more emphasis to the lips, I think this would really bring things out so much more. But this looks like a cross between Tim Burton and Brett Stalls with a lot of sparkles. So I'll say Tim Burton, Brett Stall for this one, because I think it almost makes my lips look a little plumper too. Almost matches my disco earrings, as a matter of fact. It's screaming out gothic disco. Alright, so I got a lot of key things here. So, going back to this table, I will write down the following. I'll write down gothic disco and Tim Burton Bratz and sparkles. Lots and 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 lots of sparkles. And with all that, I'm very glad it didn't make it to my teeth. Alright. I almost don't want to take it off. It looks so pretty with all the sparkles. But we have it in our memories, right? So let me go ahead and take this off here. We're getting plenty of sparkles on the towel. It's quite fun. It almost looks black on the towel, as a matter of fact. That is fascinating. Now it looks almost purple. Gothic Bratz. One more sweep. And just do a quick swipe with the water one around the lips. I'm not going to put the water one directly on my lips after applying the oil-based one, because I think it's doing well to keep my lips nice and soft. Still a little bit of sparkle, but I think I'll keep it on there. I like a little bit of magic. Who needs a little bit of magic? Okay, what do we have next? Oh boy, here it comes. So, we've got the Queen at the bottom again, right? Just as we've done with each of our past trials. But at the top, we've got, drumroll, we got Fendi. I'm so excited. This is either going to be very elegant or very messy or both. And I'm really excited to see what it looks like. So, let me go ahead and start with the Queen at the bottom again. And just as a reminder, this is the Fenty. She's beautiful in her container. like I'm gonna get Queen from Alice in Wonderland vibes already. I'm feeling it, y'all. I'm feeling it. Or Cruella de Vil. Well, here we are. And get that inner lip too. There we go. Okay, and now we got the bright Fenty. I'm obsessed with this handle. I hope it's not too bright. It probably is. Alright, so just a little. Oh my god, already. It's so beautiful, guys. It's so beautiful. But you gotta be very careful with it. If you go a little bit too far, you can turn into the Joker. Unless you want to turn into the Joker or Harley Quinn, then go all for it and have fun. Okay. Yes. Maybe not Queen of Hearts, but definitely a little bit of a Cruella de Vil vibe. All I need to do is add some spots, some Dalmatian spots, and I'm all set. Anyway, let's see what it looks like when I press them together. This one definitely loves to spread, but let's take a closer look here. One thing for sure, they're not very forgiving with the lines. They like to escape, but it does make the lips look bolder and brighter and adds a nice sheen to it. It definitely looks like a sophisticated brick red, or it almost reminds me of not necessarily a rose red, but not necessarily yet a tomato soup red either. It's somewhere in between. I guess I could say a rose tomato, a rose nato, or a tomose. No, rose nato sounds better. Cross between rose and tomato soup. Rose nato soup. That's the vibe I'm getting. So I get our table out here, and I'll write down rose nato soup. Rose nato soup is what I'm feeling. I'm so impressed I haven't had it touch my teeth. Unless I just did. That's okay. Either way, I'm gonna wipe it off. Alright, so after I wipe this off, we've got one more to go over, and that's going to be with the baby lips. I'm so excited to see what that looks like. Alright, click on the pen here. I'm going to get a fresh palette because I know this one loves to spread. Wow, it was originally red, but it looks more purple on the palette. At least according to my eyes. Maybe I watch a blind tricks on me. residual pigmentation off. There we go. They don't look too red, so I call that a win. So our last one for today, there will be many more makeup math videos, I promise. We've got our queen at the bottom, right? And when we look at this very last box here, the one that's heavily soiled, we're going to go up, 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 and we're going to baby lips. When I first crafted this table, I made a slight mistake, but this is what baby lips looks like on its own. It's a beautiful Barbie-like baby pink, but it looks more magenta on the actual stick. So, queen at the bottom, baby lips on top. Alright, so now for the grand finale for our guest of honor, the queen herself. Let's all bow down. And down, 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 down. And dip, 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 dip. And down, 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 down. One more for the inner part. Down, 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 down. Okay. Alright, there we are. Nice and sparkly. Okay, well thank you, our guest of honor. Now we're going to apply the baby lips on top. And my hypothesis with this one, I'm going to probably feel a little funny with it because just like with a few of the other combinations, I prefer a darker tone on the top lip instead of the bottom lip. But since we're experimenting, I'm keeping an open mind and I may surprise myself. We may surprise ourselves. So here we go with the baby lips. It's a baby pink color with the plastic, but then when you open it, it's more of a magenta, and it's got quite a lovely sparkle to it as well. So I'll apply this to the top lip. Alright. It has a very faint shade of pink if you look at it from certain angles here. You see that? It may be more obvious if I applied it before applying the Fenty. I think the Fenty left a little bit of a red faint tint on the top lip, but I'm going to wash my face after all this anyway. So, my hypothesis with this one, maybe it will turn into a dusty pink, combining the dark silvery black gray with the magenta, and both of them have sparkles, so maybe it'll be a very sparkly combination. Let's give it a shot. glitters and sparkles. With the Fenty, we've got the Rosnado Soup, and then with the baby lips, we've got Gothic Disco, and I'm going to add a star because it had the most sparkles. So let me go ahead and wipe this off now here, and make sure. Oh my gosh, look at this dollhead. It actually looks quite pretty, doesn't it? I love this little sparkles. It just reminds me of the fun earlier days. Now it almost looks purple after taking one little layer off. Fascinating. Sparkles galore. Got the oil downlet and then finally finish with the water one. Okay. I got so many sparkles on my fingers. So much magic. Well, thank you all so much for being here on our continuation with the Makeup Math series. For our next Makeup Math video, we're going to be starring